Welcome Knightline Live with your hosts Jerry Middleton and Rick Fletcher. Knightline Live is filmed in front of a studio audience. Welcome to Knightline Live. It's Halloween Eve here, and Rick, I just got to say this: boo! And if that doesn't scare you, we got senior girls basketball players in here that probably will.
Well, we'll talk to them in a few minutes. We sent Mr. Luby over to get them, and we don't know how long that's going to be, but we'll figure they're going to be here by the time the hour is over, and we're looking forward to that, Jerry. All right, we're going to go back to our original intent. We're going to do NFL scores, and it's going to be a very short version.
Are we doing it this week because the Patriots got beat last week and this week they won?
Well, no, we don't care about last week. All right, we're going this week. So for you Colts fans out there, that was an excruciatingly painful loss. However, it is a loss. So they're going to count that up in the loss column. They broke in their new quarterback. I guess he looked pretty good. I watched a lot of the game. I didn't catch it all. I guess he looked pretty good. So they should be pretty excited about him. But, a loss, on they move with their new quarterback, Jerry. So
you just can't give up that 60-yard Hail Mary, throw it up in the air, and then fight for the ball when you should have just knocked it down.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, I mean, we weren't there. We're not playing. We're not coaching. But it was a painful loss by the Colts. All right, the Bears played yesterday. They played those dreaded Dallas Cowboys. Now, a lot of people watching here are probably Cowboys fans. And just like you get a lot of Steeler fans, you get a lot of Cowboys fans. They got beat by 20, I think. It was a high-scoring affair. And again, last week they beat my Patriots. I've already heard about that tonight, quite a bit. So
did that happen?
That happened last week.
I did not realize that.
This is a new week. So those guys lost. So they're that's how their season's going to be. They're going to finish probably lower in the pack. So that's how that's going to be. And Bengals and Browns play tonight. So somebody's going to win. And
maybe not. Could be a tie, Rick.
I doubt it. Somebody's going to win that. So you guys, you can watch Monday Night Football after we're done here. Okay, so enough with NFL right now. Let's get down to the good stuff. How about girls basketball? Let's talk about girls. They're starting. They had a scrimmage last week, Jerry.
Yeah, up at Delta.
A 3A school. Delta's a team that probably looked a little better this time I seen them than they did a couple years ago.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And they're feeling that their team's on the rise. Okay, so what's your assessment? You saw they play, 4 quarters of varsity and 1 of JV. So what's your assessment of and remember, it's a scrimmage and we're early. The coaches are trying things. There's all kinds of different things going on.
Well, I mean, as we progressed through the evening.
Yes.
When we were able to press, obviously that appeared to be like the signature.
Right.
But to press and press efficiently, one must hit shots.
Yeah.
And the first 2 quarters was offensively challenged.
Yes, shooting was a struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Nobody was hitting their shots. Okay, and you've got Ava Mikesell. We expect her to hit her shots. Get her fair share. We expect the bigs underneath. They're going to get those layups, hopefully. But boy, just nothing was falling. And when you only score a free throw in the first 12 minutes, that kind of sums it up right there.
Yeah, I mean it was. Of course, you got a lot of players who didn't have any varsity minutes.
Right.
There's a lot of things that play into it, but still, in my humble opinion, not that it means anything, I still think that they're going to have a very successful season, and at the end of the year, there'll probably be someone to reckon with at the sectional.
Well, absolutely. What you're seeing is, they're going to find their way. Okay, they're very young in the season. They played all summer, and what I saw in the summertime, Jerry, was at the end of the summer they were playing a lot better than at the beginning of the summer because they were coming together. Right, they're getting to learn a new coach, coaching staff, new plays. Some new players are coming in, so you're going to find that they'll improve as time goes on. The talent is there.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? There's I don't think talent-wise, they're second to nobody, at least in the TEC, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But just like any other team sport, it takes time to gel. It takes time to bring it together. So we're hopeful that that's going to happen. But in the second quarters, when you saw the full force of what this team is probably going to look like, a pressing, quick, they rotate in and out these guards, and they can really put some heat on teams.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, they can go 5 and 6 people deep on the front side and not miss a beat.
No, absolutely.
And quickness and steals and stuff like that. So I think, if that's going to be the forte, then I think it'll work.
Yeah.
Because there you're getting wide open layups, you're hitting shots so that you can continue to press.
All right.
So I think it'll work.
All right. So there's a schedule change we need to talk about.
Oh, yes.
So go ahead and tell us what that schedule change is.
Saturday night's game at with Yorktown here has been postponed due to the fact that Yorktown is in the state finals in volleyball.
Right.
Big shout out to the Tigers for getting to the state in volleyball.
Well,
Two teams in Delaware County. Wapahanee is the other one.
Yeah, I know. They're powerhouse in Yorktown's a powerhouse in volleyball.
So we're working on a rescheduled date. We don't have anything concrete as of yet. So that means the next opener is Tuesday here against the Bearcats of Muncie Central, which I think this might be the first ever time the Bearcats have ever visited Northeastern.
All right, so we need a crowd there. It's going to be opening night for the girls. We need the cheer block to show up. We need all the fans to show up. And we're expecting big things from this team.
Yeah.
You and I have talked. We've talked since the summer about this girls basketball team. We've always thought this team is talented.
Yep.
We thought they were going to win the sectional last year. It didn't happen. Stuff happens, okay? But we think that this team could be actually better and maybe and have a better shot at getting through that sectional and beyond that. It's just a matter of how they're going to gel and how they're going to come together. All right, so we had an opportunity. We did a couple things. We have a little sights and sounds. Every once in a while, we like to do sights and sounds. So we did a little bit of that with girls basketball. And then we had a couple interviews with a couple players. And then Coach Cody Dudley was kind enough to drop by. So we're going to run that. And then after that, we'll go to commercials. And when we come back, Jerry, who's going to visit us?
No. Those scary senior basketball players.
Yes, when we come back, that's who's going to be with us. Is those the senior girls will be here, and we'll be back. And after these videos and after these messages. We're here at Delta High School, and girls basketball has started. The Lady Knights scrimmage the Delta Eagles tonight, and I'm here with junior Justice Slick and sophomore Ava Mikesell. So, Justice, I'll start with you first. This is your third year. Tell me what you think about the team that you have this year.
We're definitely a lot different than last year in a lot of good ways, and I'm really excited for this year, especially with a new coach and just developing the connections with these ladies. And really we are a young team still, but I I think we're going to be unstoppable this year.
All right, Ava. So I noticed when you guys turned up the defense, it was press and there was a lot of havoc. Is that going to be a big part of your game this year?
Yeah, we like to move fast-paced. That's like our game. And we have plenty of guards and some bigs, but with all these guards, we like to trap and get all up and pressure on people, and it'll be fun to watch.
Well, we're looking forward to it. There's been a lot of buzz from you guys, okay? So we're really looking forward to it. First game is scheduled for November 5th against Yorktown at home. We'll be live streaming that, and we're going to look forward with you guys being there. So, all right, back to you guys in the studio. All right, we're here at Delta High School, and I'm with Coach Cody Dudley. The girls scrimmaged the Delta Eagles tonight. So, Cody, real simple question. Tell me your assessment after the scrimmage.
Yeah, I think, we're a young team. I think we came out, some, jitters, they have high expectations for themselves. So I think the first 2 quarters, and it's controlled. So first quarter's straight half-court man-to-man, second quarter straight half-court zone, and that's just not really what we do. That's not our bread and butter. But I think they were kind of nervous to start. They're young, but I think, the last 2 quarters in our JV quarter, you kind of see, what we've been seeing all along. They're young, but, we're going to play through mistakes and play fast and play aggressive. So I was really pleased with those last 2 quarters is the same team I've been seeing for 2 weeks. So yeah. I was pleased to see that. Yeah.
That press, it looks like it's going to be a staple of your team this year. Is that something we look forward to?
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. We rotated a lot of people in and out tonight just because the scrimmage. We wanted to get different looks at different lineups and different people. But that's really kind of what we'll do all year, just to stay fresh, and we're going to play that tempo. Game in and game out, and different things for different matchups or whatever. But that's kind of really, our calling card and how we want to play. So I was really pleased with the way they played once we were able to do that.
All right, we're going to look forward to it. Opening game November 5th, so we'll be looking forward to that. All right.
I appreciate you guys coming.
All right. Well, so we're going to, again, the first game is November 5th against Yorktown. It will be a home game. We will be live streaming that game. I want to thank Cody Dudley for being our guest. Back to you guys in the studio.
At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
Coming together every day to make a difference for you, for me, and everyone in between. Because at Dot Foods, when we celebrate each other's differences and work together to make the community a better place, we become great together. At Dot Foods, what matters to you matters to us, where communities matter. Dot Foods.
"13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. That fear is the only enemy, the only thing keeping you from feeling that power in your bones. And here we are, right here, right now. Let's fly."
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Dreaming of having more space? With a mortgage from First Financial, you're golden. We keep things simple with friendly, personalized service from application to closing. We'll help you find the right mortgage loan to fit your unique needs. Plus, you can qualify for relationship pricing with an eligible checking account. And since we live in the communities we serve, you can count on our local knowledge to make sure the pieces fall into place for an on-time closing. So stop dreaming and start moving with First Financial Bank.
First! Do you need assistance and you don't know where to turn? We can help. From fixing meals, medicine reminders, personal hygiene, rights to appointments, someone to talk to, and much more. Guardian at Home Servicing, all of Wayne County. All you really want is for your loved ones to enjoy life. Welcome back to Knightline Live, and no, you don't need to adjust your television. It's not Friday the 13th. It is actually Monday, October the 31st. As scary as they might be, they're actually pretty nice. Girls, thanks for joining us tonight on Halloween.
You're welcome. No problem. No problem at all.
Now, I think people ought to know.
Adams family here.
Yeah, I think people ought to know, Jerry. Before we were on, we couldn't get these guys to shut up. Now, all of a sudden, they're all clammed up. So we're going to get started here. Ladies, welcome. Hey, basketball season is here. We've got Maddie Osterman, we got Cameron McFarland, and Marissa Kate. We are missing somebody. Who are we missing?
Chloe Cook. She was sick today.
Also a senior, so there's 4 seniors on this year's squad. So, Maddie, I'm going to start with you, all right? So tell me about what your anticipation for the upcoming season is and how you're feeling about it and what your expectations are.
Oh my gosh, I'm honestly really excited for it. I've gone through so many coaches in general. 3 for volleyball. This is like my 2nd or 3rd for basketball. So I'm really hoping it goes good this year, honestly.
Yeah. Cameron, I'm going to ask you the same question. You've been around, been in the basketball program since you were a freshman. So what are your thoughts coming into this year?
We've got a good group. We've really connected this year, better than I feel like we've connected in the past years, and it should be a really good season.
Yeah, and Marissa, you're 4 years in the program, as Maddie has said.
3.5.
Different coaches. So you actually, with you and Maddie, because your seasons, cross country and volleyball were extended, you're just getting started basically. But what are your thoughts on the upcoming season?
I'm really excited. I think, like Cameron said, we have a really good group. A lot of people who I think are really dedicated to just getting better, making other people better. So it's a good group, and I think it's a lot more positivity than we've had in a while.
All right. New coaching staff, obviously. Now you guys know these people for the most part. Chad Kirsch has been around. Chad, you know him personally, don't you, Cameron?
Yeah, I know both of them personally.
He's your stepdad. So I got to ask this, Cameron: is it having your stepdad in as one of the coaches? How does I don't want any family secrets going out over 10 million people that are watching this, okay? But is there an adjustment there that you have to make as a player?
No, he's been around since I was like in 3rd and 4th grade. He's what got me started in basketball. So it's actually really fun to have him around for my senior year. All right.
So, thumbs up to Chad, all right? He's probably watching here right now, so we'll give him that thumbs up. Jerry?
Yeah, I got a question for the girls.
Okay.
So you just got through with volleyball, and just got through with track. Not track, but cross country.
I did the same thing.
What's the adjustment coming into this? Varsity, you were like 2 days, and you were like 2 days, and then you're thrown into basketball, whole different world. What's the adjustment for that?
Well, since I didn't play this last half of my junior year, it was really weird. It was kind of rough for me personally because we didn't do much running in volleyball, and then I go straight into basketball, and I'm screwing up my knee the first week. But it's been okay. I mean, it's nothing I'm not used to.
That's true. I mean, volleyball, you take 1 or 2 steps, and that's about all you need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And jump. And that's what I tell people. It's not a cross country marathon. Yeah. However, the people that come in from cross country into the basketball now, I mean, you got the wind sprints is not a big deal.
No.
So how's your adjustment?
It's been pretty good. I think the biggest adjustment was just the plays. I think the first week they kind of nailed down all the plays again, and I'm like, I literally don't remember these at all.
Right.
So Maddie and I did a lot of reviewing those this past week, but I think we got him. We got him on lock.
I'm stupid, but it'll take me a minute.
Were some of those things, did you guys go over that in summer basketball? You put it, so this is kind of review.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to follow up with you guys. A lot of success in cross country, Marissa. You've 3 years semi-state. And for you, volleyball, we had a lot of fun with volleyball this year. You know, you went to the regional finals. Does that give you an extra edge as you go into basketball that you can share with your teammates who haven't had that success as a basketball team? Does that give you an edge with, you know, to pass on down on the line here?
Oh yeah, it was such a buildup of like tensions during that regional game. I'm kind of just hoping it gets like pushed to basketball, because that was just a whole story itself.
Yeah.
I hope it gets continued with basketball and we can go even farther than any of us other sports did.
Yeah, and how about you, Marissa? You've had a lot of success in cross country. And, you know, again, this year you went to semi-state. First of all, you got to tell all your basketball players that aren't in a sport, they need to run cross country.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so that way when they come into practice, they're ready to roll.
A lot of them did,
so,
didn't they?
No,
Gracie?
It was one.
I thought Justice did.
So,
she did, yeah.
so what kind of things can you bring from being a success in cross country, bring it into basketball?
I think that a lot of my success in cross country kind of just came from hard work, and I think that's a common thing that, you know, if you just work hard, if you're dedicated to something, then you can go as far as you want.
Yeah.
It's kind of just your mindset.
Yeah. Now, Cameron, I want to give a shout out to Cameron. She's always carrying a camera around.
Yep.
And you'll see some of these videos we've used. She was on the other end of that camera, so
She's old.
so
She
she
always
is
lets me down
actually
after
she
I
is
need
actually
to
she is actually a part of the Knights Broadcasting Network. And even
wow.
though, you know, we haven't, you know, baptized her yet,
Another paid employee.
another paid employee, unpaid employee. So tell us about the adjustment, all you guys, adjustments to a brand new coaching staff. You all had different coaches last year. You all played. What's the adjustment been like? Cameron, I want to start with you.
Okay. It's actually really welcoming. They've all been really good towards us, really positive, and helped us create a better environment than we've had in the past.
Okay.
And not only that, but we've been here for a while, so we've got to watch like our teammates grow up and become people who they are today, so it creates a better environment for all.
All right. Marissa, what are your thoughts on that?
It is very different. Being in the program for 3 years with the same coach, you know, you kind of get used to everything, and I mean, it is different, but I think it's a good change.
Yeah. Okay. Maddie, what are your thoughts on that?
I've gone through it for every sport at least twice now.
Girl.
It's more about like adapting for me. I try to get close to these new coaches off the bat, so maybe it builds like a better connection that like can be given to the team, and it's just a for me.
Yeah. All right. So we got to figure out what are our thoughts? What I don't want to say what are your predictions? Okay.
Yeah.
Number one.
Because people do watch this.
Yes, they do
and
watch this.
Put it on their bulletin boards in like football and so forth. That when football was in here, but football backed it up.
They
I'll
did.
give them that.
They did.
They backed it.
All right, and let's take the conference. Obviously, Winchester is always there at the top. You know, so. You know, but they're not the only team. A lot of times Union City has a good squad. Tri's probably going to be pretty good this year, among other teams. Then you always get your traditional Lincoln and Hagerstown. That Hagerstown seems to always give us fits no matter where we play them. Yeah. All right, so when you size up the conference, Marissa, I'm going to start with you, okay? I know I put you right on the spot. You know, as far as conference schedule, what are your thoughts as far as competing for the conference?
I think that we'll have a good shot to be towards the top.
Okay.
I think we just have to play some good games.
All right, Cameron, how are we going to beat Winchester? That's what I want. That's the real question I have. Because they're good, and they reload. They're not rebuilding. They're reloading.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've always been like competition for us, like ever since middle school, but we're also better than we were last year, so we should give them a lot of competition this year.
Yeah, okay, good. And that game's going to be at home this year, so that'll be helpful.
That's our senior night, isn't it?
I was going to ask.
And
that's our senior night.
Senior night, and it's going to be Knights Broadcasting. We're bringing that live.
Oh, wow.
And so what are your thoughts on conference play, Maddie?
Honestly, as long as we start connecting more, like all of these people are just coming in from other sports.
Yeah.
But I think it's looking good so far. We've only been together in total for about a week now, and it's going really well, honestly.
Yeah, it does take time to gel. I mean, especially you guys weren't there and you couldn't get in, just like you said. So it does take that time. Now, sectionals this year, I believe, Jerry, those are in Hagerstown. Am I right on that? Or am I going to be corrected? We don't know
where they're at.
We don't know where they're at. I think they're in Hagerstown because I talked to Russell down at Hagerstown. He thought the same thing.
I think they were supposed to be here, not this year, but the following year.
All right. So that elusive sectional title, we've been in that title game 3 years in a row, and you guys have been around to at least watch all that and play a lot of that. Okay, so what are our thoughts on, sectional's a long way away. We got a lot of basketball to play, but you always look out for that little carrot out there. What's it going to take to win that sectional? Who wants to volunteer for that one?
That's good. It's a lot of stuff. I don't know. It's just like it's
dedication and hard work.
It's many just like basic things like communication, teamwork, anything that involves like a well-rounded team. But I don't know. One game at a time. One game at a time. We just need to stop being in our heads. That is one thing that I've noticed. We get in our heads about every little thing. We get mad. I mean, I get mad. But it's stuff that comes with time, honestly.
Yeah. Well, if you have to think about it, it's too late.
It's too late.
Yep.
You just got to react.
Yeah.
So, it's like coming to, you guys use all these use phrases, yogiisms.
Yeah.
Like.
They don't know what yogiisms are.
I have no clue what that word is yet.
No, but you're not old enough.
One game at a time.
Yeah.
What do you do when you come to the fork in the road? You stop and pick it up because it's valuable.
You never heard that one before.
You haven't?
No.
Oh my God!
I think I might have, but
it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will say my comment is, so Jerry and I just got off watching a lot of volleyball, and we had 2 weekends of sectionals and regionals, and I tell you one big thing is, the team has to be bigger than the individual, and that has to be, everybody has to buy into that. And the team, whatever that is, and we're hoping it's our team, whatever team buys into that concept is probably going to be holding that sectional title right there at the end. So that's my wisdom for the day. You guys paid nothing for it, so it's a freebie, and you get what you pay for, and hopefully it's good. So. All right, Jerry. Well, there's 3 of the 4 seniors. We are missing Chloe Cook.
Yep.
Maybe we'll catch up with her at some point down the line here. I'm sure we'll talk to all of you at some point during the year. We'll be live streaming all the home games. Hopefully we'll be doing sectionals. If I have something to say about it, we'll be doing sectionals.
Yeah, we'll try and get that set up.
Yeah, and beyond that, we're hoping we're going even further. And,
me too. We all do.
You guys are talented. You got a lot of young talent too. You guys are the leaders of that team. And there's going to be a lot of players playing. It looks like there are at least 10 that I can count that might get in playing time. It appears that way. I don't know. I'm not the coach, and I don't have any insight either.
Yeah.
But appears that that's what's going to happen is to try to play a lot of players. Good luck.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to it. Maybe we'll have you come back at some point. Maybe we'll be talking about a sectional trophy.
Hopefully.
Maybe we'll be talking about a semi-state. Who knows what we'll be talking about. It'll be a lot of fun, whatever it is. So
no matter, Rick, what we talk about, there's one thing we will hear this year.
What's that?
That's a boom, baby.
That's a boom, baby. So whoever your 3-pointers are, we need a lot of them.
We need a lot of threes.
Jerry's warming up in the
I'm
bullpen.
warming up. Blah, 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 blah.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to hear from some of our gold level sponsors. Am I doing that right, Nate? I got to talk to my executive producer, making sure I have the right. Yes, we do. All right, I got to check my schedule here. We're going to hear from some of our gold level sponsors, and when we come back, we'd like to thank Maddie, Cameron, and Marissa. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you coming here. When we get back, we're going to talk archery.
Huh.
And Jared's going to put an apple on his head, so we're looking forward to it.
I'm waiting for William Tell to show up.
We'll be back after these messages.
Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more. Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Simharjan Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
With local BTV, it's easier than ever to view all that WCTV offers.
I can now stream local government meetings direct to my TV.
Now I can watch local programming right from my phone.
I can easily view recorded and live events on my computer.
With a few clicks on any device, you're ready to view WGTV Channel 11, WETV Channel 20, and WCTV Channel 21. With local BTV, you're able to stay entertained and informed.
Hey there, my name is Gibson, and I would love to invite you to LifeSpring Students. That's our youth group at LifeSpring Church, which is just south of Northeastern on 27, and we meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. It's a great way to get to know more about God, meet some friends, as well as get to know about yourself some more as well. Plus, it's a lot of fun. We usually have some basketball and dodgeball, along with some other activities. And if you want to know more, check out lifespring.tv/students.
You've had a hard day at work, and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits! The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Welcome back to Knightline Live, and now we have archery on. And yes, they are sitting here, even though they're camoed. You may not be able to see them. So, but there is the invisible guys. But
Trees and Camo is one of our sponsors.
There you go.
All right.
So, gentlemen, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Let's introduce him, Jerry.
Yes.
Okay, we've got Brian Richmond. He's an archery coach. And Doug Berhalter, also an archery coach. And you have one more.
Judy Fry.
Judy Fry is a coach. She couldn't be with us here tonight. So our confession to you guys is we are totally ignorant. We don't know what we're talking about. So we want you to educate us and educate people. What?
I know one thing about archery.
What is that?
My quiver.
Well, quiver's going to be full by the time we're done here.
Yeah, so. You are ignorant. That was correct.
See, that's why we get you on here, Brian. You're honest.
That's one thing we don't use.
That's right.
All right.
Well, what the heck?
We don't use
Not in this application.
Okay.
All right, so we need you guys. I think most people know there's an archery team, but we don't know what's going on, okay? So we'd like you guys to explain to us in as simple terms as possible, all right, the archery team and how it works and your meet system and your state system. First of all, you're not an official sport.
Correct. We're a club.
You're a club,
right?
But you are part of some type of organization.
Correct.
It seems
National Archery in Schools program. We call it NASP.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And that's who sanctions your meets. Is that right?
Well,
is that a proper term?
Yeah, sort of. We sort of do our own, but they're the
we go under their guidelines.
All right. So explain to us, Brian, how it works, when the meets are, the schedules are.
We have a parent meeting next this Thursday.
Okay.
And it's in the cafeteria. It's a student from middle school and high school, 6th and 12th grade.
Okay.
So they come to the meeting. We do have two teams. We have a high school team and a middle school team.
All right. My question: do the kids know how to? Do they have to know anything about bow?
No, they don't have to know. We can teach anybody to shoot a bow.
Okay.
Anybody to shoot a bow. I've been in competitions where there was a guy with one arm that shot. He pulled back with his teeth.
Okay.
2 years ago, I was at a meet, and one of the girls there was blind. And her dad was behind her teaching her how. And I've seen guys and girls shoot in wheelchairs.
Okay.
So anybody can shoot a bow.
So if a parent is watching right now and they have a child that's not doing anything, archery might be something they'd be interested in.
And if they are interested in, the only thing that we ask is that they listen and do what we tell them. Because we are playing with bows and arrows.
Right, yeah.
And so if they can't listen and do what we ask them to do, then we'll have problems. But I've never had a problem with that.
Right.
Our coaches and myself can teach anybody to shoot a bow.
Yeah.
You don't have to be athletic. The girls that were here earlier in the basketball team, you have to have a specific skill set to play high school basketball. Okay? And not everybody has that. Not everybody can play football. Not everybody can sing. We can teach anybody to shoot a bow.
Not everybody can be a host either, right?
We're proving that every day.
So we have a parent meeting on Thursday. I'll be handing out information. It costs $50 for the whole year. That helps us with buying T-shirts and for some equipment. The bows are supplied by the school. I got those donated in a grant system. A lot of our students, if they shoot a year or two, maybe not that long, they like it, they buy their own.
Sure.
And so, but you don't have to have, a fancy bow. This is a Genesis original bow. Everybody shoots this bow.
Okay.
Everybody shoots the same bow.
Okay.
You don't have, there's no sights, there's no releases, there's nothing. It's a bare bow with a little flipper rest.
So there's no advantage.
No advantage
for any of the competitors.
Correct. If we shoot against somebody from California, they're shooting the same bow.
Same arrows, same length.
Yeah,
weight.
everything's the same.
Let me ask you a question. To buy that bow, if someone had to buy it, how much money would you have to?
About $180.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. That's not bad. You can spend a lot of money on bows, though.
You can. Mine's a lot more than that.
All right.
There's hunting and target setups. Some of the upper end hunting bows, 32 to 3,500.
Yeah.
I will say this: Frames and Liberty, they put a kit together for all the NASP shooters. With bow, arrows, and targets.
Okay.
And so we send everybody to Frames, and Oscar sets everybody up. They do a really good job with them. So we usually send everybody down there if they want to get their own. You can get one at Walmart or even on Amazon, but it has to be the Genesis original.
Yeah.
It has to be this particular bow.
Probably go down and see Oscar because he knows what he's talking about.
He knows he does know what he's talking about.
So it's always good to do that.
Right.
All right. So you got a parent meeting. You guys start practicing soon, right?
The 10th.
10th. So that's next week.
Next week.
Okay. So take us through a season or the beginning of a season. What are you guys doing?
Okay. Well, usually we have anywhere between 30 and 50 shooters. So what I do,
and that's a lot of kids.
It is a lot of kids, but we can put up 12 to 13 targets, so we can shoot 24 to 26. If you'll notice, these arrow shafts are different colors.
Okay.
So if we were shooting against each other, you would have a green and I would have a gold.
Okay.
And so we would score the same target.
Okay.
Okay, and we would score each other's. So what I do with my practices is I have the middle school the first hour, high school the second hour, and I divide them up. And what happens is they all get a lot more shooting that way.
Okay.
And so that's a typical practice. We practice about twice a week, not counting meets.
Right.
And right now all the coaches are getting together and finding dates and putting things together for our season.
And at are typically where might they be?
Lincoln, Tri, Hagerstown, down at Frames, down at Union County. We go down there.
Do we have meets here also?
We do.
All right. So it's within 45-minute
Correct.
range.
We've had a Monroe Central and Winchester before.
Okay.
But it's so.
It really depends on when somebody can get gym time, because that's precious.
All right.
So.
But you were describing to me off air that you really don't have your schedule yet.
It's not scheduled
like
yet.
Basketball and baseball is actually
the only schedule that we have that we know is coming up is the state shoot in Indianapolis, the fairgrounds.
Okay.
That's the big dog. That's what you want to qualify to go, and you have to shoot a qualifier. You have to shoot a certain score to go to that. And last year was the first time that we ever qualified.
Okay.
So we actually went to state last year for the first time. And
as your whole team went?
As the high school team.
Not
the middle school team.
Okay.
We have two teams.
They barely missed it. The middle school team barely missed it.
So there's a middle school division and a high school division?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
And so while we were at the state competition, we actually shot the best score we've ever had in the history of the program, which qualified us to go to nationals, which was in Louisville, Kentucky.
We actually topped the first leg of the state tournament. We won the first. We was a top spot in the first leg, and we were both just about as shocked as the
So All right, so there's a technique here.
Mhm.
All right, you don't just wind it back and let it rip. There's obviously a technique with this. Doug, when you're coaching, because you've got to coach these kids up, a lot of them don't know what they're doing. I'm assuming when you first get them. What do you tell us about what you'll do as far as to teach that kid to do you want him to be able to repeat what he's doing, right?
First thing, repeat correctly.
Correctly, that's what I'm saying.
Archery is repetition.
Yeah.
Archery is really the only thing you could do everything wrong exactly the same time and be very accurate. But
Okay.
it's a whole lot easier to do it right.
Right.
First thing we do is we have a meeting, kind of like an orientation type thing, what we expect, like he was saying, whistle commands, because it's all done on whistle commands.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3 whistles.
Okay.
Then
And
we
when you
start,
say whistle commands, that's when you rear back?
No.
No, okay.
I mean, like, one whistle.
Well, that's a good setup. If we have people that are waiting to shoot, you can't just go out and grab your bow
because you
so
don't
everybody's behind the line.
It's
and
a safety factor.
And we go 2, get bow.
Okay.
So everybody will get their bow and they'll go line up with their partner and they'll stand there with their bows on their toes. They'll sit there and they'll be sitting there like this, waiting. They cannot grab the arrows.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, and so whenever I blow the whistle once, what'll happen is everybody will grab their arrow up and over, and then they are free to shoot until they're done. They get 5 arrows
Okay.
per cycle. So they'll shoot 5 arrows, and then they'll go back and hang their bow up, and then they'll go back behind the line again. Everything for the whole thing is done for safety.
Well, that's what it sounds like. Is
it,
you're hanging your bow up.
Right.
Don't touch the arrows. You don't want any accidents happening.
Yep.
But where we go at before any of this even gets started, we want to determine, a lot of different aspects of it. Are you right or left eye dominant?
Okay.
Are you right or left-handed shooter? Stuff like that. We just
Right.
go over some of the basics so we don't have arrows going sideways,
Right, I
or
understand.
up, down,
Yeah, okay.
unintentionally. So then once we've determined that, then we show them proper form, how to hold your bow. Once we got them to shoot a few arrows, then we start going through follow through. That's with, your bow hand, your release. We don't use a mechanical release, we use our fingers.
Right.
But you still got to release the arrow, and there's a technique of that too.
Okay.
So progressing to where Brian was at with the whistle commands and going and getting our arrows, we also have a certain way you got to score. You also have a certain way you have to pull the arrows out of the targets.
Okay.
The one archer has to stand back. We've got a line while his competitor or opponent pulls their arrows, drops them onto the floor, and leaves them sit. Then they got to come back behind the line. The other archer goes up, pulls his arrows, drops them on the floor. Then they gather their arrows, bunch them up, put the point over their hand, and walk back to the shooting line.
It seems like it's all safety oriented.
It's very safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mentioned earlier that according to the National High School Association injury list, that the only sport that has less injuries than archery is ping pong.
Okay.
So it's very, very, very safe. But
we don't have a table set in here, so we
know,
can't put that.
I've had some serious ping pong injuries in my life.
But it's a type of thing where everything's set up for safety, and it's a really cool thing to watch. If you go to state or if you go to nationals, you'll have all these targets lined up, these whole, humongous
Hundreds.
room, and you'll have this one whistle command, boom, and you'll have literally hundreds of students doing the same thing over and over. It's really cool.
I know it over at Miami University, they used to have the
Correct.
archery championships
Right.
over there,
Mhm.
and that was pretty cool because there was targets lined down on that
Yeah.
whole field, and it was
East End over there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to sit there and watch that. I mean, and it wasn't. I think you guys were shooting 15 meters maybe.
We're shooting at 10 and 15 meters. I want to run through you a cycle of how we score real quick.
All right, go ahead.
So what happens is everybody's at the line at 10 meters. You get a practice round. That's 5 arrows. You shoot
Okay.
5 arrows. Okay. Then everybody shoots a practice round, goes back, pull their arrows, get ready again. So you shoot 3 scoring rounds of 5 arrows. So, and it's basically a 10 ring. I'll pull this out real fast.
That's what it is. This is what you're shooting at right there. Right?
Yeah, that's what we're shooting at, basically.
Okay.
So 10 rings in the middle. So basically, you can shoot 150 that first 10 meters. Then you move back to 15 meters, shoot a practice round, get your bearings. Then you shoot 3 scoring rounds, and then
Okay.
you're done.
Okay.
So you have 30 scoring arrows.
All right.
And so that's how you would
And
score individually.
You're aiming for the bullseye, is that right? That's
Yeah,
what
you want that. You want to hit that 10 ring.
Okay.
Now, here's my question: Now, if I was doing this, the problem I would have was these arrows won't split when I hit the same target all the time. What happens if you? Now, don't laugh.
Well, that's a good question, though.
If I hit on that, and of course the arrow doesn't go in, is that just a lost arrow, or is that
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You raise your hand.
Uh-huh.
And the range master, which generally is Brian, Judy, or I, or the other school, the coaches in general.
Right.
We go over, ask them what color they're shooting, and give them a new arrow. Now, we have had some younger kids, or archers, that couldn't penetrate the target. And we
Right, they can't pull back enough poundage.
Well, and I understand that. Yeah.
So you get to shoot again until you do.
So you get to shoot again when that happens, because I would have to think that that's a good possibility that happens.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit an arrow.
Usually, when you're breaking nocks, they're going to stick in.
Yeah.
You know, they're usually you don't have a. If you have a true Robin Hood, which I've done and he's done, and they're sticking like that, and we see that, and then something happens that falls out, we're going to count that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to penalize them for that. That's
All right.
that's up to the range.
I just wondered about that. It seems like it would take.
Jerry's thinking about coming to shoot some balls.
We want you guys to come one evening.
Yeah,
practice.
If you shoot of Rick shooting.
Oh, you're going to shoot too.
I want to see Jerry with the apple on his head. That's what I want
I
to
can
see.
do that. I'll have Chase Cage. I'll have Chase
these-
Cage shoot the apple off your head for you.
Yeah, I feel safe now.
All right, so to be fair, before we got on air, I told you guys we got 15 minutes to do a 2-hour informational, okay? And there's a lot we're not going to get to. We're just trying to hit the highlights here. Our goal is, obviously, we want to highlight kids. We're bringing you guys, you're the coaches. Our hope is at some point we'll bring some of your kids on that, we'll chat with them, or we'll come talk to them and put them on a video or something. That's what we'll end up doing. So about how many meets would you expect that you're going to have? I know the schedule's not out
It's
yet.
not out yet. This year we're hoping to have more meets than we ever have.
Yeah, so how many would
you're probably talking 10.
I'd say 10 plus.
And that's before you get to these state preliminaries.
Yeah,
and
well, everybody
state
shoots a qualifier. That'll be at Hagerstown.
Okay.
And so that's the one we have to go to.
Okay.
So we got to shoot at the qualifier.
All right.
We go to schools also. It doesn't matter. We're not IHSAA sanctioned.
Right.
So we'll go to a school if they'll have us, or
Right.
we'll have
go.
them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we're going to a school of 5,000 kids.
Right.
Compared to a small school, I guess, because like you said, archery's for everybody.
Yeah.
And you might have somebody that don't want to go get beat up, on the football field, or take the thumpings or wrestling, or be long-winded like the runners. And we welcome them.
I mean, you're not doing wind sprints with them, Doug, out there?
Nope.
Is that
I
what
would tell them if they don't do what I say, I'll make them line up, and then that scares them, and then we've never done it yet, but I will.
How long does a meet usually last?
45 minutes. If things are running good, we can get through one cycle in about 45 minutes.
Okay.
But that all depends on how many shooters each team has.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've
Okay.
had some, but most time 40.
Well,
50 shooters aside.
one cycle of like 13 targets we put up is 40 minutes.
Okay.
We might have 3 of those.
Okay.
It depends on how many kids
Well,
are
who
shooting.
knows, Rick? Maybe we might get wild and crazy and
We got a live stream.
and
that.
live stream one.
Well, we just might. We're all set up. So they're
Yeah, we
over
got
in the auxiliary gym. So.
The one camera that we can just zoom right in on because I know one time I watched, I couldn't tell what arrow hit where unless I got my binoculars.
You will
out.
see a lot of parents they bring their binoculars.
Yeah.
And they'll keep track like they do.
Yeah,
with
you're surprised how
stats.
15 yards is quite for us guys who can't see very good. It's a long ways away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I referee.
we got to go to Kate's Eye Care.
That's
Jerry.
right.
We've already talked about that. So, well, fellas, obviously you have an interest in the sport. That's why you're here. That's why you started it, Brian.
Sure,
you were
sure.
telling me off air. And Doug, I'm assuming you have some kind of interest, experience in this.
Doug's is our bow tech. He can take that bow, pull it apart, put it
All
back
right,
together.
so you've done this a long time, I'm assuming.
I pulled a girl's bow apart last year. I had it down to pins and needles in 30 minutes.
Okay.
Had it put back together because she had some parts wore out, and I carry a lot of people call it like a purse or something, but I carry an archery tackle
Yeah, it's
bag.
special.
Yeah.
And I've got every tool I need in there.
Okay. All right.
But long story short, we try to keep the kids shooting, keep their equipment up,
Right.
keep everything they need. It's just like anything
And
else.
I
Give
will
them the
name
tools and they'll succeed.
one thing too is that the administration here has been wonderful.
Okay.
Well,
you have 50 kids out
well,
there.
yeah, usually 30 to 50, depends on the year,
still
35 to 50.
Still
But
a lot of kids.
it is a lot of kids, but they have been, Mr. Kiesling has been wonderful. His
Yeah.
job is really hard to
Yeah.
try to just navigate everybody with practice times.
Sure.
And it's like, hey, so he works well with us. Dr. Hicks has worked well with us. The principals have been great. So the administration has, at least for my part, working with them it's been a positive for me.
All right, well, fantastic.
So they let us do this, and I know that they're glad that we do this for the kids, but still they've been great to work with.
All right.
So I've had no complaints at all working with the administration.
Well, you've got my cell phone number now, Brian. So
I do.
you got to keep me up to date how we're
You got
doing
it.
here, so we can report back. That's what we want to do. And and I'll say this to your parents, okay? We want video, okay? Everybody's got an iPhone now, all right? Just turn that thing sideways, because that's the best way it goes, the long way, all right? And just send us some videos. We'll run those videos during these Knightlines, okay?
Sure.
And if you want to interview one of your own kids, I'll run that, okay? You're all hired, okay? You're all part of you're all part of Knights
Oh, Lord
Broadcasting
help us.
Network, automatically
Well,
hired.
there's more paid personnel now.
We don't pay.
Oh,
That's
we
right.
know. That's right.
Your budget's going bad downhill, Jerry.
Our budget's went south.
Well, fellas, we appreciate it. Jerry, we could spend 2 hours because there's so many questions.
There's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah,
We can do that later.
There's so many questions we have that we're not able to get to just in a short show.
I think maybe we might try to do a
live stream.
Live stream.
Absolutely.
Here's what I come to a practice.
Yeah.
Come to a practice, and not only will you watch, we will have you shooting.
All right.
We've had teachers shooting before.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And they sit there and they kind of watch. We've got children.
I think Dr. Hicks has actually shot before.
Dr. Hicks
has. It's just
Mr. Kirchhoff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, if you can find him.
Yeah, Martin Kirchhoff.
We were looking for him for a week.
All right. Well, Doug and Brian,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you guys coming. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be talking again, I'm sure. We'll be communicating back and forth. Appreciate you guys coming. Hopefully we'll get talk to some of your kids, because that's who we really want to focus on is the kids. So we're going to take a break.
Yep.
We're going to hear from our gold level sponsors. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up. We got cheerleading, okay? Cheerleaders are in a very important competition, and we're going to talk about it when we get back. This is Knightline. We'll be back.
KOA exit 151A, registration in the general store. It's a family-owned campground with pull-through parking for RVs or travel trailers with full hookups. Rent a cabin. Relax at one of the fire pits or picnic by the pond. A playground for the kids, or get in around the golf before dinner. Take a water-soaking hayride, lay out by the pool, and then take a dip. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scaretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scaretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scaretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called time out because I am hungry.
I'm star, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, there's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
Welcome back to Knightline Live, and I'll tell you, a lot to do with archery.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this.
Yeah, it's just like all these other things that we've learned over the years. Now we're going to have to learn about archery, but that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm serious. We ought to try to live stream something.
I am too. I think we should be able to try to do something.
Yeah.
Now Saturday,
we got a big thing going on.
Big
Saturday.
thing going on. Really bigly huge.
Yes, it's a huge thing, and that's the Lady Knights cheerleaders. Okay. Last I counted, they told me there was 14 of them on this team, and they're headed to Newcastle, and they are participating. Now, they're a first-time team, all right? First time they've ever done this. They are participating in a state championship this Saturday at Newcastle. I believe that time is 4:38 p.m. is when they come on.
Now, is that at the field house?
At the field house,
Right.
I'm assuming, okay? I'm making that assumption. We'll talk about that in a minute, but before, Jerry, we have their performance. I believe we have it loaded, and we can go to it. Let's take a look at that right now and see what that performance looks like.
All right.
Northeastern High School, you may begin when ready.
Let's go, girls! We are
Welcome back to Knightline Live. And Rick, that makes me want to go put my cape on and go flying through the air.
Oh, please don't do it, Jerry. Don't do it. No. So they're looking forward to it. Coach Chelsea Wine, she's excited for this team. Again, Jerry, this is the first time they've done this. They were able to qualify for the state competition, so congratulations to them. We'll be there. I'll be there on Saturday, and I'll be taking a lot of video. We'll do a lot of sights and sounds. We like to do sights. We're going to do a lot of sights and sounds. They're going to be talking to a lot of cheerleaders, talking to the coaches, and we're going to have a lot next week to talk about cheerleading. So we'll look forward to that, and I'll look forward to Saturday to being there.
And Rick, who's our guest next week?
Well, we got two. Yep. Boys basketball will be starting real soon. I think they start actually next Monday. Coach Brent Ross will be one of our guests, and wrestling's the same thing. They're going to be starting real soon, and Coach Corey Baker will be one of our guests. So in these downtimes, we'll have two guests on, so we'll look forward to talking to them.
Finally, two things I'm an expert in, Rick. Basketball and wrestling.
Maybe basketball.
Maybe basketball.
All right, Jerry. Well, another Knightline is in the books.
Well, I think so. And from the Jack Benny days.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Say goodnight, Gracie. You know what? It's been another, for Rick Fletcher and myself, it's been another great night.